Hello friends, welcome to Dots of Destiny. Om Namah Shivaya and Jai Shri Ram. So this video today I am recording for the planetary changes in the month of July. And July will have certain mainly 3-4 changes which are quite prominent, and the areas will be affected in certain way. So I'll talk about those. So let us first see what are the changes. See, it is reflecting on your screen that Venus will make a move in the month of July to Leo. That is from the 4th of July. 4th of July to 16th of July, Venus will be in Magha Nakshatra and having a conjunction with Ketu. Then it will go to Purva Falguni from 16th to 30th of July, which is good actually. Its own nakshatra. And then it will go to Uttar Falguni from 2nd of August. It will get debilitated in Virgo. Mars will whole month stay in the sign of Taurus. Now the transit of Mars is very important in the whole month because it is in Venus sign and it is aspecting Venus also. So this transit of Mars very important in Rohini Nakshatra from 5th to 24th of July, and then also definitely to Mrigashira from 24th to 12th of August. So the thing is that because Jupiter is remaining combust most of the time in the month of July, from 13th of July to 13th of August, Jupiter will be combusted. So here the center stage will be taken by Venus, Mars and Mercury. Mercury is presently in Cancer and it will come back, I think 7th of the July month until 24th, 25th it will remain retrograde in Gemini in its own sign. That will also be quite an important transit in whatever small way, because obviously Mercury is a small planet. It gives you small changes in retrogression. So three main changes: Venus, Mars and Mercury. Jupiter remaining combust, and obviously Sun will go from Gemini to Cancer. And the thing is that here Saturn will go retrograde, but that will be the end of July month. So what is happening is that when Saturn goes retrograde, it comes to a stambhana first, a state of total stagnancy, not moving here and there, and then whatever illusion it is or whatever it seems that the planet is moving backward in a retrograde motion. So July month Saturn cannot be taken as retrograde because it's before stopping it gets very slow. It stops and then also it starts very slowly. So July month we cannot expect the results of Saturn to be great actually. It is kind of a very slow motion, ready to getting retrograde. So from August the retrograde motion of Saturn till November it will be pronounced. August, September, October, November, 4 months. From December 11th it will go again direct. So December also kind of. So rest of the year you can take that from August to December, Saturn is more or less in the retrograde phase. From January it will start giving again the results of direct motion. Though 11th December Saturn will go direct, but again it takes a long time for Saturn to move properly in the direct motion. Because it's a slow planet, the going backward is also slow, the moving forward is also slow. So these planetary movements are quite enough to bring some areas of your life to focus. Main area will be obviously Leo, Taurus and Gemini. These are the three planets mostly there, and Jupiter, for Jupiter getting combust, the Sagittarius ascendant and the Pisces ascendant, they have to be a little careful. Though because Jupiter combusted means you cannot do, and one thing is very important in the month of July is that because Mercury is retrograde and Jupiter is combust, not much good things are should not be started at this point of time in this month. So Otherwise it's okay. There will be the planetary movements are nothing over the top, but yes, Venus Ketu combination with aspected by Mars, because here see what happens is that Venus when reaches with Ketu every time, especially when Magha Nakshatra, after Venus crosses Magha Nakshatra, it is okay because Ketu is going backward and Venus is going forward. There's separative mode. But during the conjunction, especially from the, I will take it like this, Venus will be crossing the Gandanta Aslesha Magha and reaching Ketu. So from 1st of July to 16th of July, the time is not good wherever, whatever house your Venus rules for you. And also your relationships, any kind of relationships factors can be strained if you're running that kind of a dasha, because Mercury also is retrograde. One has to understand miscommunications and all these things, especially in relationship, business, partnership, volatility in the share market, all these things can be expected, and that is why it brings a little bit of turmoil. So July is a mixed month. Do not expect June was much more dynamic than July. This is what I'm trying to say. So some kind of movement pressure from Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, they are not exactly in the very right flow of motion. So having said that, let me go to the ascendants and find out what this planetary arrangement in July brings for us. So please go to the timestamp. For the Aries ascendant, your Lagna Lord Mars is in the second house in the Dhan Bhava. So this kind of position of Mars is really good for monetary benefits or thinking about money, and especially as I have, thinking means how you have to manage your finances and all these things, and gains definitely usually happen, or you are able to do some more savings or something with your money. Because here one has to understand that Mars will be for a long period of time. I think 4th of, I have said in the preface of my video, from 4th of July onwards or 6th of July, it will be in Rohini Nakshatra till 24th of July. So Rohini is a money-giving creative nakshatra, and here Rahu also will be in the Dhanishta nakshatra from 30th June onwards in your 11th house. These are good monetary positions, and you may be able to garner some kind of wealth, accumulate wealth and save it, and you can feel better about your financial situations. Obviously your 10th lord is getting retrograde, Saturn in the 12th house, but this is also not bad, because see, Saturn will gain its momentum, retrogression momentum, from August onwards, as Saturn is a slow planet. It is getting retrograde from 26th July onwards, so now it will be having an aspect or kind of in the 11th house. As it is moving backward, it will start giving some results of the 11th house also. And so you may be able to plan new performance oriented thing, career, overall growth and all this. Yes, Jupiter is combust in the 4th house. Your Bhagya Lord is combust. So some little bit impediments, yes, it is there, not denying that. Jupiter combustion, and also the 5th house, Venus with Ketu and aspected by Mars, is looking quite volatile. So you have to take care of your relationships on a greater level, whether it's progeny, whether love matters and all these things, or even it can be with business people, because if you get irritated, if your words come out not chosen properly, then it may create hazards for you. And that Mars does in the 2nd house. The Taurus is an earthy sign. You have to be careful about that. Health concerns do not look any high. If you have any customary health problem, then you must, because Mercury is retrograde. Why I'm talking is that because Mercury is retrograde in the 4th house now, and then it will go to the 3rd house. So if you are having, rogue, rin, shatru, any these 6th house lord coming into the 4th and then going retrograde in the 3rd house, communication with can solve these issues. Because retrogression Mercury means only that you have to rectify the things that Mercury related things that was coming in a haste to the 4th house, and now again going back in its sign. And the first 15 days of Mercury retrogression with Sun in Gemini, much can be solved communication wise, and whether it is communicating with your, if any court cases are there, if any kind of relation to the medical field or anything, or even short travels, traveling. Overall, the month is a mixed bag, Aries, but better towards the betterment towards the financially. I feel it should be rewarding at this point of time for you. And that is why it will bring some relief also. That is why it is not a bad month, but yes, it's a mixed month, because there are two main factors. Is that Jupiter is combusted till 12th of August, from 13th to 13th of July to 13th of August, and also Saturn is retrograde. So Mercury is also retrograde. Certain things you have to rectify. You have to overall again look back and then move forward again. That is going on at this moment of time. For Mercury, those are minuscule things, 6th and 3rd house things, but Saturn, it can be bigger things, as it will retrograde for next 4 months definitely. So overall, a mixed bag, Aries. I hope you do well in the month of July. Quite a big month though. Okay, Taurus ascendant. Taurus ascendant, there is Mars on your Lagna. Lagna Lord comes to the 4th house, aspected by Mars. So see, Venus, Lagna Lord, Mars is the 7th Lord. Clearly there can be problems regarding you and your partner. There can be miscommunications as Mercury goes retrograde in Gemini from beginning, more or less 4th or 5th of it reaches Gemini. I have given the dates already in the preface of the video. Kindly go and look into that. Most of the time Mercury remains retrograde, which is your 5th lord, but yes, it is retrograde in its own sign in Gemini. But the thing about this time Taurus, it is that though Saturn is good, and Saturn it will also go retrograde, but in the 11th and 10th house it will have the retrogression impact. That is good, but then see, when you have a Mars on the Lagna and the Lagna Lord is aspecting the Venus Ketu combination in the 4th house, there can be some kind of anger issues or some desperation, some kind of the Lagan and the 4th house matters looks a little bit kind of a little volatile, I will say that. The 2nd house Mercury Sun is good, but Jupiter gets combusted and Saturn gets retrograde. So the main planet now is on your Lagna. Whole of July you will see you have some kind of a burning temperament that is happening within you. That is how Mars reacts when it comes on the Lagna, though it can be monetarily beneficial also, as Mars goes into Rohini Nakshatra from 4th of July to 26th of July, something like that. Rohini is a money giving nakshatra on the Lagna. Mars will do good in that. But yes, if you have because see, marriage related things, or you want to get married, or the dates are fixed up, or you're already married, these kind of things, monetarily it can be good, but there can be some ego flare up and some kind of obsessive nature when Mars comes on the Lagna, and you want to start something, you're desperate to start something. That is also what, because originally it is the Aries house, right, the 1st house. So Mars acts very much like in a a desperation. So that is the only thing. And another thing is about your health also. Why? Because Mars is aspecting the 7th house, the 8th house, which is your 12th lord also. You can you and Venus is getting aspected by Mars, and Venus will be with Ketu. Especially the first half of the month, do take care of your health, because the 12th lord is on the Lagna now. There can be some health issues, properly, you if at all properly, that needs a diagnosis. Or you can feel very jittery at times, you can feel sudden irritation at times, you can feel Ketu Venus combination with Mars aspect, sudden headaches, migraines, some kind of a thing. So the health factor for Taurus also, monetary it's okay, communication, health factor, anger issues, and with the partner. And if you are in the mode of getting any property or anything, because Mars does these things also, and because Venus is in the 4th house, any vehicle, any property should not be purchased in the month of July, because the because the Jupiter is combust. Any good that is why marriage and all these things should be avoided when Jupiter is combusted, and also because Saturn is retrograde and Mercury is also retrograde. So these three, any kind of thing that you want to rush into, you should be precautious about it, and you should not do any new thing in the month of July. So otherwise the month of July is okayish. I cannot say it's a great month for you. Yes, it can, as I'm telling, it can bring monetary gains, but you have to take a control otherwise of yourself. Then otherwise things at the home front or the relationship front can blow up very fast. So take care of that, Taurus people. A careful month of July. Yeah. Gemini ascendants, it is your Lagna Lord that is getting retrograde at this point of time in the 2nd house, and it will come back to the Lagna with Sun. Nearly the whole month of July, 25th of July or till Mercury will be retrograde. So your 1st and the 10th lord, when it goes retrograde, so you are some kind of professional thing is going on with you, or because Saturn is also going retrograde slowly in your 10th house, these things needs to be again having a look, a overview, and needs to be solved. Now the thing is that your luck lord Venus is coming, the 5th lord is coming into the 3rd house with Ketu. Here some kind of, and the 2nd lord also. So the decisions you take, it can be the decisions regarding, because Gemini people do trading also, Mercury, that kind of a thing, it can go wrong. See, Jupiter, the 7th lord, is also combusted. At this point of time, the July month does not look very progressively good, because see, this is the 12th house. Mars is also posited in your horoscope. So all these together, if taken, then it must be understood that July should not be a very fast forward. You should not tread it very fast. You have to keep it a little slow and take things at a time and get the things solving. It's a very long month. July is, most of the July is without holiday, and it's quite a long month. So you have to go steadily. Remember what needs to be rectified, because the Lagna Lord, 10th Lord retrograde, Saturn, the 9th Lord retrograde in the 10th house, Mars in the 12th house, unnecessary expenses can also happen. Or you put your expenses, you want to, because it's a desire lord also, any court cases or anything can see sudden, you have to spend money on that. Or it may be that some health rectification can also happen, because it is the 6th lord in the 12th house. Again, Viparit Raj Yoga does not work in transit to the extent that one thinks. See, wishful thinkings can be done. I have no problem with that, but what I have to say, I will say in my videos. So 6th lord in the 12th house does not look good. Mercury retrograde on the Lagna is pushing you towards some kind of a rectifying things and looking back, and overall your approach and your 10th house approach also. because Jupiter here is also combusted, and it may happen even your partner can go for a transfer or something. That I have seen when the 7th lord goes 8th from itself, exalted Jupiter and combusted, the person can have to separate maybe for a few months or 1-2 years. So these things can also happen. Be cautious in the month of July. Different pockets, like your health, your finances, Jupiter is combusted over there. Venus, the expense lord, the 12th lord, and also the 5th lord is in conjunction with Ketu, especially the first half of the month. One must be aware that what they are doing. If suppose Venus is in the 3rd house with Ketu, sudden journeys, there may be disruption. Understand, Mars is also aspecting. So July month better for you, Gemini. You must not venture out too much and take it just a, not a very conducive month for growing fast. Now, because next after this, Venus and Mercury will go direct, and 2nd house, 1st house, 2nd house Mercury in August, and Venus also goes debilitated in the sign of Virgo. Debilitated Venus 4th house is not bad. How much this I have seen again and again. It is Digbala, and Venus in the 4th house, how much debilitated, it is not bad. So this July month you take slow steps forward, do not rush. That is the first thing. And then August onwards, you will see things are clearing up in a much better way, because Lagna, 1st and 7th lord is not in good position. 9th lord not in good, because it is going retrograde, Saturn. 5th lord is with Ketu, you know what I am telling, and Mars is in the 12th house, adding to the thing. So it should be a slow month, not a very interesting one definitely, but August will be much better. Only thing, when Mars will come on the Lagna. So please take care of your health. This is the first and foremost thing that I see in the Gemini Lagna people. Take care. Yeah. For Cancer ascendants, Cancer people, it is the as of now you are having the Venus and Jupiter combination on the Lagna. So now Venus, it's time for the 11th lord and the 4th lord to move into the 2nd house with Magha Nakshatra. This month there is a precaution also and a good thing also. First 15-16 days of the month should be taken very, it can suddenly give wealth and take away also, or sudden expenses when Venus Ketu reaches each other, conjuncts each other in the first 15 days of the month. After that, from 16th of July to 30th of July looks good, and Venus will be in Purva Falguni Nakshatra, its own nakshatra, and they will be parting ways, Ketu and Venus. So it is in both ways, like one, it can be good, and again it can take away sudden monetary things, sudden expenses from the 2nd house you accumulated with, sudden wealth goes out. That may also happen, because here another thing is also happening is that Mercury at this point of time is on the Lagna. It is getting retrograde slowly, and then Mercury again goes back in the month of July from 6th to 24th of July. Dates I have given in the early part of my video in the first few minutes. Mercury, your 12th lord, is retrograde with Sun over there, the 2nd lord. So maybe the expenses are required. I'm not saying that every time it is something unwanted, but these things I've seen when Venus Ketu combination, because they strike head on, right? Ketu is going back, Venus is going front. Sudden loss of money, sudden expenses. If you are in kind of share market or in any these kind of trading kind of things, because the market is also volatile in different way, be careful. As for Jupiter, it gets combusted on the Lagna with Sun. Now, because Jupiter is combusted and Mercury, the 12th lord, is retrograde in the 12th house, no new ventures should be started. What is another good thing is that Mars is in the 11th house. So, keep your day-to-day activities going. And also this Mars will bring, definitely, especially Mars when it will be in Rohini Nakshatra from 6th July onwards, nearly towards 26th of July, nearly the whole month, nearly a lot of time you will get in the July month for a good amount of 11th house and second house matters. But relationship, because Mars is aspecting the second house also, where Venus Ketu conjunction is going on, be a little careful with your relationship because it's a fourth lord also. Now all these things makes July not a bad month for you, but I'm a little cautiously optimistic about it, as Jupiter is combust and Saturn goes retrograde again, looking towards your, moving, that movement of Saturn which is coming again towards your 8th house matters. Some unresolved issue will come up and you have to address those. Now the thing is that anybody who is having 6th house matters, Rogrin Shatru, whether you take a loan, whether you have a court case, whether you have any health problem, because Jupiter is getting combusted, you should be very careful in approaching those things, because what happens when a planet gets combusted, it is not visible with the brighter rays of the sun. It's not that the planet is not working, but it is working. It is not just visible to the eye too much or to our senses. That is why whatever the 6th house matters are, and 9th house, whether it's your father's wealth, long distance journey, court cases, if you take a loan, and Mercury is retrograde, please read in between the lines whatever is written in documents and all these things. So that is the most important information for your July month that is given, because otherwise the month does not look totally bad. It is progressively 2nd house and 11th house matters are good, but as the Jupiter on the Lagna gets combusted, you can miss out on things. That is why Mercury retrograde also, it makes you miss out on documents, papers, signing, or whatever your opponents are, what loan you are taking, whether you are signing it properly, all these things. This needs to be very, very under scrutiny. Health, yes, you can give a little bit of skip to your health routine. Why? Because this Jupiter on the Lagna can also add to some bit of health irritation or flatulence or liver issues, or cholesterol shooting up, or sugar. These are lifestyle diseases. It is nothing major, but it can be a little bothersome for you because it is again the 6th lord on the Lagna getting combusted. So that's why Cancer, it is overall it is good this month. I mean, materialistically it should be benefiting you. Health wise, Rogrin Shatru, 6th house matters, and also money should not slip. I mean, should not in the sense, if you have to, there is no other way, but you should be careful with monetary transactions and where you are spending. So it's a very big month. Hope you have a good month ahead, Cancer. Take care. Leo ascendants, first and foremost, on your Lagna, Venus is arriving from the 4th of July in conjunction with Ketu in Magha Nakshatra. So the first 15 days in your, because it's your 10th area, 10th house and 3rd house, be very careful in what you're doing, and there may be sudden disruptions also in 10th house matters. Later part of the month look better from 16th to 30th, when Venus will be in Purva Falguni, Uttar Falguni. Those are better, and Venus is even more better debilitated in the 2nd house for money giving matters. Yes, Mars is steady in the 10th house. That is one thing. You can change your professional front. It can be a sudden change, as Venus Ketu will meet and Mars is there in the 10th house. You get scope, opportunities, you change. This can very much happen. Next, the thing is that, as I told you, Venus can make you fancy, you can look great, you can buy Venusian things. The thing is that because Sun will be going to the 12th house and your 5th lord will be combusted in the 12th house, so be a little cautious in risk-taking matters, especially share market, finances and all these things. As of now, don't venture into those things. Anyway, Mercury will be retrograde in the 11th house from 6th of July to nearly 25th of July, but still Whenever Mercury is retrograde and your 7th lord is going to be retrograde, Saturn, and Jupiter is combusted, you can understand the month should be taken on a cautionary note. It is not as dynamic as June month. So that is why July, it's a big month, and every step should be understood and taken, because Venus Ketu, sudden disruption, Mercury retrograde in the 11th house, sudden issues with your groups and your monetary things or papers, documents, it can be anything. Mars position is good in the 10th house, but again it is aspecting the Lagna. Ketu is there, Venus is there, and Mars aspecting the Lagna can give your speech. Venus 3rd house lord and Mercury is retrograde. Sharp, jittery speech. Be careful about it. You must not, unnecessarily venture into sudden unnecessary fights or whatever it can be. So this needs to be taken care. Health, because Sun will be going to the 12th house, and your 5th lord is also in the 12th house combusted. Maybe there can be some little bit health here and there issues. If the dasha is like that, you may have to visit a hospital or something. These things can happen. Otherwise the month is okayish. See, for all the ascendants, this month is not very it is cannot be told as a carried away great month, because so retrogrades are there, and okay, Rahu is reaching towards Dhanishta, Mars is in Rohini, Venus will come into Uttar Falguni. It will give you result. Materialistically, professionally, it will give you result, but some pockets are quite sensitive now, especially your Lagna, when Mars is aspecting the Lagna and Ketu is there. Now Venus will join. So take care of your temperament, take care of your work pressure. If you have to change, you may go for a change. Venus with Ketu, sudden disruptions, whatever it is, try to keep a cool head and take the decisions ahead. 9th lord is well placed, but the 5th lord is not providing you with enough luck. Already it is 8th from 5th house, but now because 1 month it will be totally combusted and Sun will join over there. Again, you'll regain your vitality from the August month, but slowly. So that's the thing. Otherwise, it is a okay month. Health factor should be kept in mind, because Saturn is in the 8th house and obviously Ketu is on the Lagna. So whenever Moon reaches Saturn with Mars, with Ketu in the months, whenever this happens, as according to the Panchang and the Moon's waxing and waning things, you must be more careful into your sensitive areas like finances, 5th house things, your progeny, your love affairs. Relationship can take a, whenever Venus Ketu, these things happen, or Venus retrograde, relationships sometimes take a hit at this point of time. All these small things needs to be taken, nothing major as such. Overall, a mixed month for Leo people. Take care. Virgo ascendants, here the Lagna lord is getting retrograde. Mercury is getting retrograde, and so it is the 10th house where Mercury is getting retrograde in this month. Obviously Saturn is there in your 7th house, it will also go retrograde, and Jupiter is combusted in the 9th house. In the 11th house. So this condition, when Lagna lord is itself retrograde, the thing is that you are taking some steps backward, because Mercury retrogression will last in Gemini in the 10th house. Some rectification to the Lagna in the professional field will happen. Now here the 12th house is a concern. So because Mars, your 8th lord, is in the 9th house and aspecting the 12th house where Venus is there, your 2nd lord with Ketu, especially the first half of the month does not look good with finances, and also whatever decisions you are taking, it should not happen in the spur of a moment. 12th house is vulnerable to family members, sudden 2nd lord in the 12th, and with Ketu and Mars aspecting. sudden hospitalization, sudden cash need, or you have to spend on something. These can very much happen. Mars, now the thing is that, see, whenever I am telling something about Virgo, I don't know why it is becoming so sensitive, Virgo and Libra especially, that nothing goods happen. It is not like that. Maybe those who are writing that, maybe the dasha is not at all good. You have to understand that it is not the transit. Transits are not bad for Virgo now when you have a Saturn in the 7th house and Jupiter aspecting that Saturn. Yes, this 1 month from 13th of July to 12th of August, Jupiter will be combusted. No doubt about that. So your 7th lord is in the gains but combusted now. So your partner can be too busy, or there can be some discord, which I am telling that because the 2nd house lord Venus will be with Ketu, two malefics, and Mars is also aspecting. That is why these kind of situation needs to be handled carefully. So that is also a thing. Yeah, so as of now, July month, because Saturn will also go retrograde, and Mercury more or less whole month it is retrograde, then will go direct and come into the 11th house. If I have to see it, then I will say that August month is better. When Venus gets debilitated in the 1st house and then to Libra, it is monetarily better. As of now, it is not bad. The 10th house, 11th house all are active. But Jupiter is combust, Mercury is retrograde, Saturn is going towards retrogression, Mars is in the 9th house. That is another problem. So overall, a month where you have to take steps, but you have to understand what you are doing and how you are doing and where you are progressing. That is important. Be very cautious with the 9th house Mars and travels and tourisms, or if you're going to foreign lands or anything, there can be sudden bad experiences and money can go for a waste. So these things needs to be considered for the Virgo ascendants. It is obviously July is not a great month, definitely for no ascendants, but for you, because the 12th house is too much in the Ketu and Mars forming a volatile yoga over there, and Mercury Lagna Lord is retrograde. That means you are not in a very stable state. Retrogression is like you are contemplating and you are going for, now you have to go for certain kind of changes that is happening. So these things take up your attention. Be mindful in whatever you are doing. That is important. That is very important for you. So otherwise, okay, this month will also pass. Like, yeah, it's a big month, but be careful in your 10th house matters, in your 12th house matters, your health, your expenses. Do not share money at this point with anybody. Love matters also can be jittery. Family members or you may get transferred also, because 2nd lord in the 12th, it may happen that way also, and Lagna Lord in the 10th house retrograde. These kind of situations can happen for Virgo people. You have to take it in your stride and move ahead for the better months. August is, I feel, much better than for you than July. So take care, Virgo ascendants. Libra ascendants, for Libra people, the Lagna Lord is now in the 11th house in the month of July with Ketu for the first 15 days roughly, and then it goes to Purva Falguni. It is not a bad time for you, and it can bring some better results also, because most of the planets do good in the 11th house. The thing is that Ketu Venus combination can suddenly take away something which was, maybe you were on the surety of it, and it goes for a change. It can be as simple as, yesterday only I had a call with a person who was looking for a house, and she told me that she was supposed to get the house, and suddenly at the last moment her money was given back to her, that this deal is not being done. So any kind of small events that can trigger with this Venus Ketu combination, especially for the first 15 days of the month in the month of July. Otherwise, July month looks good for you, and it will pave the path for some better results, for some monetary gains and all these things. Now, because Mercury, the Lagna Lord, is retrograde in its own house, in the 9th house, obviously there will be some reversals. And what is that? Because it is good, the 9th Lord in the 9th house, but there will be certain things which you have to look back and understand and then move ahead, because it may be concerning your 10th house matters also, how you move ahead. Jupiter has gone now in the month of July, from 13 July to 13 August, Jupiter will be combusted in your 10th house, with Sun, the 11th Lord, also reaching there. Now, Jupiter combustion in the 10th house is that, see, it is the 6th and the 3rd Lord. Whatever efforts you put in your 10th house area may go unnoticed, or you can be very tensed, as the 6th Lord in the 10th house combusted means you have people around you who are equally working hard and being very smart enough to do under the things which is not visible. That is why combustion of a planet, when the planet is not visible in the sky, it is combusted by Sun, all the planets. Whenever a planet is combust, it is no important thing is done at that point of time. At this point of time, Jupiter, your competition lord, 6th Lord, getting combusted, you may feel around that you are not seeing competition, but it is there, it exists. And also your efforts can sometimes be not rewarded or go in vain a little bit. That kind of a thing. Jupiter combustion in the 10th house till 13th of August. Now, Mercury is retrograde. Saturn, your 5th Lord and 4th Lord, is going retrograde in the 6th house. Jupiter is combusted. Venus, your Lagan Lord, is in the 11th house, and it is first 15 days conjunction with Ketu. And Mars is in the 8th house, your 7th Lord. Now, this is what happens is that the thing is that, see, for you the planets are not badly placed at all. 9th, 10th, 11th, 8th house, all the planets are there to support you. The thing is that the only issue is that, see, money can also grow. The Lagna Lord in the 11th house, and the second Lord is in Mars, is in the 8th house, looking towards the 2nd house. Money matters can also be good. On an average level to average to better, I will not say excellent and fantastic, but it will be good only. Nothing hiccups I don't see on the way at this point of time in July. But see, there are combusted planet, retrograde planets, which is the theme of July, and that is why whichever area comes to your notice needs more of reflection, contemplation and gauged attitude towards it, not in a hurry, moving forward without thinking what is happening, because retrogression planet slows down and makes you aware that these needs to be rectified. So whatever it is, otherwise this month is not a bad month for you. It looks good in many angles. I'm little, in my predictions, I'm a bit conservative always, because two planets are retrograde, which is, one is your 5th Lord, one is your 9th Lord. When these kind of things happen, you contemplate, look back, take slow steps forward. It is better days are ahead. You know, I have told you in many videos that Venus will have a big transit in Libra, and you just have to gear up for that transit, I would say, Libra. So have a good July month. I mean, it is not a month to jump up and, you know, it's not that kind of a month. But it will give you good results. Nothing too much bad about the planetary situations. Be cautious and look through the whatever is not visible. Try to understand what is happening around the corner. Yeah, take care. Scorpio people, the thing is that Lagna Lord is in the 7th house, and 10th house is also very active, with Mars aspecting the 10th house with Venus Ketu combination over there, especially the first 15 days of the month. And Sun from Gemini, Sun is in the sign of Gemini, with Mercury retrograde, sudden changes of your professional life, sudden changes, sudden going here and there, changing, these things can happen. But the best part is that you'll feel confident about it. You know now you need that change because Mars will be aspecting the Lagna. You can feel a little obsessive about your relationships. Mars in Rohini Nakshatra does bring money, maybe from the partner, maybe from business, maybe from overseas, maybe for your daily wages. It is good. Mars in the 7th house. Relationship front, because it is Taurus, I am not very worried, but still Mars behaves a little obsessively in the 7th house. That you have to take a little bit of care. But I feel you'll feel quite secretively confident because Mars is aspecting Scorpio, and Scorpio is a secretive sign. They do not shout from over the top. It is absolutely different from Aries. So, but be careful with the 10th house matters. Your bosses, because Jupiter is combusted now in the 9th house with Sun reaching in the second half of the month. So with your bosses, with your office area, what change are you into? Usually Scorpio people will not jump from one to thing. They take a lot of time and then they decide. So I hope your decision would be correct. I hope so. But still Jupiter 9th house aspecting the 3rd house, and all these things, and Saturn also going retrograde in the 5th house. Sometimes you feel a little pressurized at this point of time, but nonetheless it is not a bad month. See, another thing is that when Mercury is retrograde, Mercury is the 11th lord in the 8th house going retrograde in its own sign with Sun over there. Your tax returns, your share market, your trading abilities, all these things you will redefine again. You will contemplate again at this point of time, and then you'll move ahead. That would be a good step actually to do. Overall it's a good month, but if changes happen, be again and again, because Jupiter is combust. The thing is that when Jupiter is combusted with Saturn Mercury retrograde, we tend to sometimes, retrograde planets are cheshtabal. Because it is already late, we feel we must hurry up. That is the reason sometimes retrograde planets who have more retrograde, they falter at times more. So whatever the scenario, do not rush, and look into your 10th house matters with a wide lens, and do not jump into conclusions. Be careful with your bosses. The 5th lord going combust, maybe things are, your luck abilities, wherever you put in luck, you should be very, you cannot depend on luck now. That is the final conclusion. And otherwise it's a okayish to better month. Not bad, no way it is bad. Yes, when Mars goes next month to, especially August, in the beginning of August, into the 8th house, there will be some more gains that you will be looking up to. So we'll talk at that time. As of now, you are trying to balance all the parameters in your life and looking at the things which have not yet been completed. You want to complete the things, especially documented things, especially 8th house matters, legacy, taxes, your investments and all this, and then you put, you now start with August month. Because as I told you many times, every month I'll tell you that lot of things are ahead with Mars having a 10 months transit starting from the September month in Cancer and Leo till the June 2027. So gear up, Scorpio people, lot lies ahead. You must be completing the things that are pending, because suddenly all the business will come for you. So take care. Yeah, it is a good to better month. Okay, I mean, nothing very over the top, but yes, a change of scenario, something significant, it can be little also, in the 10th house matters can be seen. Yeah. Sagittarius, here the Lagna Lord is getting combusted in the 8th house with the Sun, which is the 9th Lord here, and Mercury is retrograde. The partner is Mercury going retrograde, which is your 10th lord and which is your 7th lord. Lot of things regarding the professional matter, you have to rethink. That is the first thing. Because Jupiter is combust, do not hurry. From 13th of July to 13th of August, you can be under pressure. You can be doing things for your boss, which is the Leo house sun. 9th house matters. Because combustion of the Lagna Lord for 1 month can keep you on your toes, or you will be under somebody's guidance. That can also happen, but understand that it's not easy when the 6th lord Venus reaches Leo. 6th lord gives impediments with Ketu in the 9th house matters. Though you will fight it out, as Mars is there in the 6th house, giving you the force and to do the things in whole of the month. Still, as Mars is aspecting Leo, Ketu is there, and Venus, kind of your Trishada lord, not kind of, 6th and 11th lord in the 9th house. One must be very careful in your dealings, in your journeys, in what you say, what you put forward. You should not be, because Mars will be aspecting the 12th house of Scorpio and your Lagna also, where the Lagna lord is combusted. Jupiter is a planet of wisdom. Mars is the planet of force. You may start forcing things, but don't do that, because when the Lagna lord is combusted, even if you force things, things can go unnoticed. Even if you put efforts, it can go unnoticed. So take a little bit of back seat and do the things that is required to be done on the prima facie. If somebody is giving you work, you keep on doing that, because the Lagna lord is combusted. You cannot say no. You're on duty. You are not seen, but you have to do the thing. And Mercury is retrograde aspecting the Lagna. Your communication may go misinterpreted from 4th July onwards. Still now also Mercury is in the 8th house. So you sit back, think, do the required daily job. Let this month pass. Let Venus go debilitated in the 6th house. Better. Venus debilation in the 6th house will give better results. Artha Trikon in the month of August, not now. So I don't like a 6th lord especially a planet like Venus. Your desires can flare up. In the 9th house is also, high ambition. It is a lofty ambition of Leo. Have it in your mind. Implementation at this point, when Saturn will go retrograde in the 4th, Mercury is retrograde in the 7th, it will not happen. Implementation will not happen. You have the bigger picture. Slowly, as the things progresses, and when Jupiter comes out of combustion, you will see some betterments happening. As of now, routine job is the best thing. You can feel a little frustrated with the kind of activities in this 1 month from 13 July to 13 August, but that is how combustion is. Your free will is bit of taken away at this point of time, and you have to do the things that is given to you. So okay kind of transit. I cannot say it's a great month for you, obviously. Be very careful with how much of action you put forth. Be very careful with bosses, with father's health. Father's health can also be difficult at this point of time. When Sun is in the 8th house and the Leo sign is having Venus, Ketu aspected by Mars. Yes, Mars has the savior nature, the 4th drishti of the Mars, but still Ketu and Venus is not very conducive in the 9th house together, because Venus is the Trishada lord. So take care for your health, your temperament. Do not push forward too much. Do your mundane routine jobs. Things are coming up. Be cautious when the Lagna lord is in the 8th house combusted. That is the first thing. Do not take any new things now. Do not start anything too much new at this point of time. All these things after 13th of July. So best of luck, Sagittarius people, because it's a long month and you have to take it in your stride and move ahead. Mars will help you in the 6th house to win against the odds. Yeah, take care. On ascendants, the The gochar of Venus is very important for you this month of July. The 5th and the 10th Lord going into the 8th house with Ketu. And Mars is also there whole month in the sign of Taurus in the 5th house. Aspects this combination in the 8th house. Be very careful with relationship matters. It can totally go for a toss. And if you have some kind of change of job or any kind of professional changes in your mind, that may happen this month, as Mercury is also retrograde in your 6th house, more or less the whole month from 6th of July to 25th of July. So these are adding a little bit of pressure on ascendant Capricorn ascendant, no doubt about that. But July month for most of the ascendant is not very comforting, I'll say that. Saturn will go retrograde, but you'll not get the effect of retrograde Saturn in this month. Because it's a very slow planet. It goes retrograde 26th July. It takes time to get into the retrograde motion. From August only it will be felt, and you will redo certain things. And this is a month when the 3rd Lord and the 12th Lord is combust, Jupiter, in your 7th house from 13th of July to 13th of August. Jupiter combustion can bringing some, maybe you have a marriage talk. It goes and it sees a blockage, which is good only, because we do not want better things to happen. I mean, no initiation, no good things usually should be done or should be talked about when Jupiter is retrograde, combust. And here Mercury, your 9th Lord, is in the 6th house but retrograde. So obviously retrogression of the Lagna Lord and Saturn is slowing down. The month is overall a slow month. Certain things that you have already taken steps, like the 10th Lord going into the 8th house with Ketu, already maybe you have applied for some kind of change of job or all these things, that you may get a call. Mercury is retrograde, you may go in for that. There can be a change brewing up with the in-laws, with some kind of some issues with the marriage life. Already those who are married, can very well happen in the month of July, especially Mars aspecting Leo, and where Ketu is there and Venus, the 5th Lord, also goes there. You can have some issues with your progeny also, as Mars is sitting in Taurus, though it's a earthy sign, but because the 5th Lord is in the 8th now, you may disagree, you may differ to agree with your progeny on certain issues. If it is a grown-up child, if it is a small child, be aware of his or her venturing out in different places. It can suddenly cause some hiccups, not major, because but yes, Mars will be aspecting Leo for quite some time, the whole month. Mars is your desire lord, the desire lord, the 11th Lord coming into the 5th house. You can get better monetary profits, and that will happen also as Rahu will move into Dhanishta in the 2nd house, and also Saturn will now start going retrograde. It will have an impact on Aquarius. Monetarily, 8th house with these kind of conditions can give sudden money also. These things happen. But relationship as a concern, because the relationships are very fragile, it can see some kind of a dent. So for Capricorn people, the professional front needs a check, the relationship front needs a check. What you're doing, how you're presenting yourself, you cannot be, because Mars in the 5th house, the intelligence is good, but they become very stubborn in the attitude, and Taurus is a very stubborn sign. So these things are a bit of jitteriness that I see, some bit of slowness, Saturn going slow, Lagna Lord going slow, and now moving to get retrograde, which is an illusion, visionary illusion, but still that is how the planet seems to move backward. But that will begin from August. So that's the thing. Otherwise, it is okay month in other pockets, not bad. If whatever the situation, sudden things, Ketu, Venus is very important for you and Aquarius especially. obviously for Libra and Gemini also. If situations bring you which are little you have to handle, especially the first 15 days of August, you must think, you must contemplate and not jump into conclusions, as Mercury is retrograde. Your Bhagya Lord, communication, whatever you are trying to do, if you have to take a step, if you have to react, you have to take some time and then react. As Jupiter is also combusted in the 7th house, relationship matter, partnership matter, foreign matters, all these things can sudden see a halt, or sudden can see a shift happening. You were thinking in some way, something other shifted in a different form, because combustion means the planet exists but you are unable to see the progress that is happening unless it is again taken out from the rays of the sun, and then okay, these things have progressed in that way. So that is how the July month look. It is a big month, but you have to take and look after your health also. 8th house gives sudden, 8th house brings in sudden karma, right? Sudden health hiccups. You can feel that kind of a thing. Take care of your health, your well-being. Money should not be bad, money should be good. Otherwise relationships can be a bit of a struggle in the month of July. Take care. Aquarius ascendant, Aquarius people, your Yogakara Venus is coming into the 7th house and having a conjunction with Ketu in Leo. In the 7th house matters, and your 6th house is now having in the month of July, as of now it is having Jupiter combusted in the month of July. Now see here, if court cases or anything is going on for relationship matters, it will take some delay, or it may sudden get a breakthrough and you may able to separate in the first 15 days of July if you really want that. Or you may because see, this is Venus is aspecting the Lagna also, which is your 4th lord and your 9th lord. Because it is with Ketu, in the first 15 days you will not get support much of the luck. When Venus moves into its own nakshatram from 16 to 30th of July, you can feel, yes, some creativity, some good ideas, some luck and fortune is coming to you, as Venus is aspecting now the Lagna. So there will be 2 parts of the month. First 15 doesn't look too good. Later part of the month, it feels much better. Now the thing is that because Mercury is retrograde in the 5th house matters, some things that you were planning for your, because Jupiter's ingress into Cancer and Saturn in the 2nd house aspected by Jupiter, this is more of a this is Artha Trikon transit, more of professional pursuits are seen. And as far as I know, many Aquarius people are going through some churning points in the professional front. So that is why Mercury here gives you, Sun Mercury, especially in the first half, though Mercury is retrograde, but in Gemini, it will give you the power to solve the thing, what you had been piling up. So this July month, you see certain knots opening up for you, certain things you had been thinking in certain way, your intelligence is favoring you. Mercury retrograde in the 5th house, it is actually this retrograde Mercury is good for you. Because retrogression Cheshtabal is more, it's sharp, quick fixed intelligence in the own sign of Gemini. Court cases, if anything is there, or loan you have to get or something like that in the 6th house matters, you can see a delay, or monetary matters also, because Jupiter is your 2nd and 11th lord. It can see some delays or can see some issues in the money matters flow to your account. That will be solved in the month of August when Venus gets debilitated in the 8th house. You have listened it right. When Venus gets debilitated in the 8th house, certain monetary things will get solved, but as of now it can be a little blocked. You can feel things are not moving, though because Sun is combusted the Jupiter, 2nd and 11th lord, things are moving but not at the space that you want it to. That is the thing, and that is why your finances, your investments, your progeny, everything goes for a rethinking. That is the 5th house Mercury. So this is a month where you a little bit change your way of thinking, your way of understanding things, and then the result will come in the following months. Because one, you must know, as a Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, Capricorn, these four signs will get the big transit of Libra, which is yoga karak, especially for you, in the 8th house and the 9th house. 8th house Venus is not bad for monetary matters. Relationship, I will not say. Yes, there are certain hiccups with it can happen with the 9th lord in the 8th house, but monetarily, when Venus gets debilitated in the 8th house, it's not bad. So then Venus will go into Libra, and it's a long transit, actually quite a long transit. So that will start in August and will end in December. Very long transit. Now the thing is that Mars, your 10th lord, is sitting now in the 4th house. Here professional matters will come to your, it will happen, because Mars will be in Rohini Nakshatra, and this Nakshatra Mars will be more or less the whole month, 6th of July to 26th of July, something like that. So 10th lord in Rohini, maybe because you have to show your creative side and all these things will start moving. Once Mercury gets direct, things will come at your lap. Professionally, especially, I'm talking about. Still, you can feel not very much at ease in this month. Only when Jupiter gets out of combustion in the August month, you will feel better in getting a little bit of relief in the 2nd and the 11th house, which is both are money houses for you, and relationship can be tested at this. When the 2nd and 11th is our associates, our family, and suddenly that lord gets combusted, Venus runs with Ketu, you must be very careful with the relationship if you want to keep them. If you want to let go of, and that needs to be ended, it will be ended, because Saturn is also in Revati. It will end in due time, definitely. So it is an overall okay kind of month for all the ascendants. July is nothing over the top. We have to spend the long month of July with very cautious and important steps, because the planets are retrograde and combust. So later we can move at a better space in August onwards. So take care, Aquarius. Pisces ascendant, Pisces people, you have the 5th house Lagna lord getting combusted by Sun, which is the 6th lord. Now here there can be, whenever Sun, it is written in text that whenever 6th, 8th, 12th lord is Sun, there is no dosh. The Sun and Moon does not get the dosh of being malefics, that kind of a malefic of Trisha Dayalon. But still, when Sun is combusting Jupiter this month, in the July month, your Lagna lord, from the 13th July to 13th of August, first and foremost, your health, well-being and professional side, these three things will come under the scanner. So how is it that? Now see, it is getting combusted in progeny, in the house of progeny. You may have to think more about what with your children, if they grow up, what is their prospect near in the future, because as of now you will not see much good result this 1 month of Jupiter combustion. You have to keep on doing the thing. When the Sun moves out and Jupiter comes out again, then you will understand whatever steps I have taken in this Mercury retrograde also, because Mercury gets retrograde in your 4th house, and Mercury is aspecting the 10th house, and 10th lord getting combusted. So all these things, as of now, you have to keep working towards your goal. If you get a change at this point of time, be very careful where you're joining, how you're joining, what you're asking and all this, because in combustion of Jupiter, when Mercury is retrograde, Saturn is going retrograde, no good initiation of jobs, marriage, whatever, good things should not be started. That is how it is given. But if you have to do, you have to understand that the steps should be calculated and cautiously taken. Mars will give you the impetus in the 3rd house in Taurus all the month. That kind of effort will be there with you, which is very important, and Mars will be aspecting its own house, the 9th house. So some kind of fortune favor, slowly but surely, this month you will get. So this is important for you, Pisces, but because the 10th lord is combusted, there are 2-3 things about it. Maybe you work hard. 10th lord in the 8th from itself, in the 5th house, you work hard, do not get recognition. You have a boss under whom you have to submit, and whatever is told to you, you do. There is no much your say in it. Or due to all these things going on in the background, slowly but surely internally, combusted Jupiter, which is the Lagna Lord, is thinking of a change, which is the 10th Lord in the 5th house. These things will happen, but the Saturn goes retrograde at this moment of time. Now, Saturn is on the Lagna, and that is why a retrograde Saturn will bring in certain things which you thought could have melted away. But it will again bring in things, and you have to go through them. This month Mercury is also retrograde for you. So the 4th lord and the 7th lord is retrograde. So see, these kind of things, or Mercury retrograde can, you have to again put in some documents, again go through a process which may be a little irritating at this point of time. Rogrin Shatru, when Jupiter is combust, then a little bit powerless, right? That is the combustion. That can grow, or if you have some health issues, you have to be very cautious at this point of time to take care of your well-being. If you have taken a loan, you can feel burdened. If you have enemies around you, they may trouble you, but you have the Purusharth, Mars in the 3rd house that you have. Overall, a okayish kind of month. This is not a month where every one of us can feel that too much of gusto. It is a long month and it is a boring month, but we have to go through the month. There is no other way. And maybe that's why I feel when I see these kind of transits going on, I take one day at a time or 1 week at a time and let it pass. There's nothing much that you can do about it. When the Lagna Lord itself is combusted, nothing is much in your control. Maybe you are doing something very important, and that is, but you are not even that much given credit about the things. So I mean, I understand it is a problem as of now, but then that is how it is. You have to continue with it, and then once Jupiter again comes out, new things will definitely happen at that point of time. Yeah. And the Venus Ketu combination in the 6th house, 8th lord in the 6th, yes, it can be your hidden enemies or something like that get vanquished. That these things also happen. But yes, Venus is also relationship, no? The 7th lord is getting retrograde also. Be careful with your relationship, because that is the Karaka Tattva of Venus, or the monetary factor, especially first 15 days when it is in conjunction with Ketu in Magha Nakshatra. So it's a war zone. Again, we don't want Venus with Ketu in a war zone aspected by Mars. So be careful with your 6th house matters, with your relationships, sudden things, sudden breakups, sudden heart breaks, sudden things which are emotionally disturbing. Venus Ketu combination brings in Magha. So overall, it is okayish type month, nothing that is boosting the overall performance of the month. That is the issue with July, and it is with most of the ascendants. That is how the month is. What can you expect when Jupiter is combusted, Mercury is retrograde, Venus is with Ketu? Okay, next 16th or 30th of July, Venus will go into Purva Falguni. Little bit better monetary results can be expected. So take a chilled approach. Chilled means a little bit relaxed approach. Do not rush things into the month of July. Do not get too much over the top and think everything is going in disdain. No, nothing like that. It will clear off slowly. August will have 2 eclipses also, and which can be good for you, which is the 6th house eclipse also, 6th, 5th, 6th cusp. So yeah, we'll see back in later in August month what happens. Till then, take care, Pisces, especially about your emotional well-being and health. Take care.